Good evening and welcome to a Match of the Day programme which includes action from the top two divisions. Championship challengers Arsenal and Ipswich confront each other at Highbury. We go to Boundary Park Oldham for their game against fellow promotion challengers Sheffield Wednesday, and we see the 7 goals from Scotland, which virtually decides the Premier League Championship.
Tonight's headlines: Liverpool retain the League Cup after beating Spurs 3-1 in extra time. Ronnie Whelan is the hero, scoring twice on his Wembley debut, as Spurs lose for the first time in 9 visits to the famous old stadium. Buoyant Bob Paisley was cracking jokes like Jimmy Tarbuck after the game. The Liverpool manager said the Milk Cup is another first for the club. The milk was turning sour before we equalised, but the 2 extra goals put the cream on it.
Position of being championship challengers, but still currently out of favour with some of their supporters. They can win matches, but surplus goals seem to elude them. Commentator Barry Davies sought the views of some Arsenal fans about this problem just before the kick-off.
I just hope Tony will decide to get a striker before it's too late. I mean, we need a striker. We've got to score goals, and we haven't got anyone to score any.
I think the football's dreadful. I remember 20 years ago they scored nearly 100 goals. Now it's 22. It's a disgrace for a club of this magnitude.
I think it's disappointing that we haven't replaced people like Stapleton and Brady, but overall the fact the club have managed to remain in the top 6 and around that area without blowing people. Robson. Mirren. Solid play by Hollins. And here's Sunderland. On the call, let it go. And Robson puts it in. Great applause all around Highbury.
Sunderland doing the work after McCall and Civil had not communicated. And Stuart Robson gets his first goal of his senior career. Davis. Bobby Robson's team are to win the title. This is the sort of fixture that they have to win. Sunderland. And Muren's header. Again, the back player somewhat indecisive, but handball by Stuart Robson. Gates. And White struggling. Brazil forced wide by Hollins. And Brazil denied by John Hollins, who forced him away on his left foot and forced him to the point where he couldn't pull the ball back. Good play by an experienced player. Walk was some distance ahead of Talbot. Gorman. Ricks wanting it to feet, now goes away. It's aimed at Sunderland, comes down to Ricks. Oh, I say! Well, it seemed to take him half an hour to get it into a position, but when he struck, it was one to be remembered. Osman, of course, still without Terry Butcher, suffering from this nose injury. O'Leary watching and didn't get it right, but he's on the line to cover. As it turned out, it wasn't necessary. And again, he had to go too far wide, but David O'Leary made a mess of the back pass. And Wood's speed off the line certainly helped save him from the error. Walk going through Davis. And here is Brazil. Here is Gates. And it took a deflection. Ricks, not the time for a cross like that. Someone put it away by Mills. And this is for Brazil. And Muren has made the run behind him. Wood committed, and Hollins covers the gap. Not the best thing I think we've probably seen from Ipswich. Brazil going inside, Muren making the loping run outside him. It was played right. Wood came to collect. The cross came in and Hollins was covering the hole. Away by Talbot. Brazil. George Burley. Davis. By Devray. Robson. Ricks, and he's away. It's there now, surely. No, it's not. Goalkeeper's arm turned it away. Well, he was through it to the gap. It closed a little bit at the moment that he decided to shoot. Didn't didn't get the venom that he was probably hoping for, and the flattened arm of Civil turned it away for the corner. Davis takes. Good plant again. Sunderland. Another good header by Burley. Robson, and here offside is Davis, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Civil, and the one goal sufficeth, and the last touch on the ball was made by the man who scored it. Stuart Robson's goal in the 11th minute, giving Arsenal the 3 points. And Ipswich must know that they had the chances to have changed the story, but seemed incapable of doing so. So the 3 points go to Arsenal, and the team get a pretty warm reception. So the final score, Arsenal 1, Ipswich Town 0, the scorer Stuart Robson, and the verdict now from those Arsenal supporters.
I think Arsenal played like a new team. I think if they persevere with their youngsters, they'll be in the top of London once again.
I thought it was quite a good performance. The defence played well, I thought. Midfield was reasonable, but again, it highlighted our lack of a striker. If we'd have had a striker in the first half, I think we could have sewn it up with 2 or 3 goals.
I think that makes it 2 defeats out of the last 17 games, and perhaps some of the press and media who have been having a go at the team should take notice of what Laurie McMenemy said this morning, which is that any team that writes Arsenal off for the anybody who writes Arsenal off for the championship is very foolish indeed.
I think it was a very fair game. I still say Arsenal need wingers and play football the way it should be played. I think the Arsenal midfield defence today was a bit lacking, but taking everything into account, it was a good result.
Yes, I think they played extremely well, and I think with a bit of luck they should have been 3 up in the first half. It's just the lack of strike power that we're short of.
Well, whatever anybody says about their style, Arsenal continue to climb. Critics might be giving them just the edge they need to stay in the championship race, come what may. But I'd be more worried if I was Bobby Robson, because the numerous injuries to key Ipswich players seem to have tempered.
Well, Arsenal's win has certainly boosted their chances of the championship, but for North London neighbours Spurs, today